as long as it's steady to go.
I-
And that was the other thing too, all these micro decisions, right? So
Right.
I also noticed that if I put my clothes out for the gym, I'll go to the gym. If I have those salads like labeled for the day in my fridge, I will eat those more. But I think these micro decisions, people leave it for the day off, and then that's exactly what my lifestyle was for like the last year or so, and I'm trying to make those little changes. So is that an advice you also give? And if so, then what else can you add to that?
Definitely a little bit of prep makes a big difference, right? So I like to spend my Sunday evenings, like maybe late afternoon, evenings, doing a little bit of prep. I'm not prepping everything, of course not, right? But I like to make sure like my gym outfit is ready for the next day. Super easy thing to do. Takes like 5 minutes, right? Easy stuff right there. And then I like to cook my proteins too. So I can mix and match it throughout the week. So I have a little bit of variety. So maybe I'll cook like a bunch of chicken, maybe some ground beef, something like that. That way I have that ready to go throughout the week. And then also I do a little bit of prep on my business too, just to make sure my Monday morning isn't as rough. Because sometimes it is, right? Some mornings, Monday mornings in particular, they can get a little crazy. So just have that in your mind and do a little bit of prep, and it'll just make everything go so much smoother throughout the week.
How do you recognize that you have energy leaks in life? Like, how do you recognize that?
Oh, so with that, it's really important to get in tune with yourself and see how you're feeling. If you're feeling really drained all the time, especially around certain activities, certain people, certain environments, you know that it's kind of like sucking your energy there, right? But this really requires people to get in tune with themselves, that self-awareness. And for a lot of people, that doesn't come naturally, really, right? So that is something that's a really important skill to work on and develop too.
So now share with us like a success story of one of your clients. Like they came to you with what problem and how did they solve it?
Okay, so I had this one client in particular, absolute powerhouse of a woman. Like, oh, she's superwoman, amazing. I admired her so much. And she came to me because she was giving so much of herself, but nothing to herself. But she was starting to have issues with her energy and started having chronic health issues in her 30s, right? So we really took a look into her lifestyle. And I was just asking her, like, how are you living like this? Because she was doing nothing to fuel her body, no form of self-care, just constantly going and giving to others. Now, I was telling her, like, this is amazing that you're so caring and that you are giving to others like this, but this is a wake-up call for you because of, developing chronic illness, that you need to focus on yourself. So we had to start small though, because there was, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of resistance there.
Of course.
She said, I'm too busy for this, all that stuff. So we really had to scale things back. So I told her, like, hey, let's just start with breakfast every day this week. Let's just make it easy breakfast. So we settled on a protein smoothie, right? And she was like, okay, I could do that. So she started doing that. And then we started looking at boundaries, another big one. And so we worked on that. Just from those two simple changes, she started feeling better. And then she started adding more habits because she noticed she was feeling better just from those two little changes. So we started adding in some workouts, finding more time for self-care. And she really ended up, it was like a transformation, really. But like I said, we had to start small. It could not be a complete overhaul of her life. She's just too busy, right? So we had to really make it work for her and her lifestyle.
Yeah, it's like you also have to like train the brain to like certain things.
Exactly.
Then it becomes your own like decisions rather than nobody's like forcing it. How long did that take?
It was a process for sure. I would say it was like a 6-month process, like constantly working. So give yourself that time.
Yes.
That grace. Change takes time, especially if you're working on some big stuff. But it's so worth it, right? You are worth the time and effort.
Yeah.
Right?
I always see like with fit people like yourself, I always notice that one of the things you guys have is you committed to the reps and you are very resilient. So it's like, it's like it's just everybody who has like who's in really really great shape and goes to the gym and has this kind of lifestyle. I've always noticed that the outcome of that is the resilience and the commitment to just reps and reps and reps.